Hi guys, what's going on? My name is Dylan and I'm a local artist here in the Cape May County region. But not only am I a local artist, but I also work for the Cape May County Library. And I've now partnered up with the library's adult event department to kind of bring you guys a little drawing 101 course, all through videos. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and don't forget to check out the library. And of course, all the library's social media. Alright, so drawing 101. I realize art can seem a bit large. It can seem little bit of a daunting task. So I'm going to try and break it down simple for you guys. I've been working on art basically since I could hold a pencil. It's just been in my DNA. I've been drawing ever since I was a little kid and have worked my way up and learned a bunch of techniques throughout the ages that I employ in my drawings and my paintings and basically any medium I can get my hands on. So I'm going to try and kind of condense some of that and break it down to simple forms to kind of help you guys understand. One of the important things to remember is that art, whether it be drawing, painting, sculpting, whatever, it is all about an expression. It is an expression of yourself. It is a way to express yourself. Some people can think of it as being cathartic, some people think of it as a job, some people think of it as a hobby. Either way, it's all about just expressing yourself. So, relax, take it easy, have fun. And we're going to start with simple. We're going to start with the basics. We're going to start with materials. Now these are all things that you do not absolutely need, but they're a good basic starting block for your more refined art. I mean, I'm notorious for grabbing a ballpoint pen or a loose, writing pencil and some scrap paper and just doodling or doing a drawing on that. But we're going to try and stick a little closer to the actual foundation of artistic style drawing compared to just doodling. Nothing wrong with doodling. The first thing you need is paper. I always suggest a good sketchbook with a spiral bound. The other ones tend to roll and not sit flat and give you a difficult time actually sitting down and drawing. This, when you put it down, it gives you a flat surface. You can get your hand on it, no problem. The other ones get a little difficult. If you play with one, you'll see what I mean. I will also say that there are a lot of brands out there that you can buy. There's Canson, there's Strathmere, and those are just the two big ones that our Michael sells here in Rio Grande. But as you go down the aisles, you see there's a lot of different brands, a lot of different price points, a lot of different types of paper, and your thickness, and your weight, and your tooth, how much grit it has, how smooth it is, acid finish versus, there's a lot. Just start simple. Okay? I like this nice black one because it's got hard covers on either side because I carry it around with me, and my papers don't get ruined, crinkled, crushed, bent, etc. This one is a Canson brand, but for other things I actually prefer the Strathmere brand, either the yellow cover or the brown cover. When it comes to paper, your basic drawing paper, start with something that's got a little bit of tooth to it, but that's a little bit of texture, not super smooth, and kind of experiment a little. Art is all about experimenting and trying different things. Feel free to kind of try and experiment with different brands and different textures of paper when you're trying different things. You never know what you'll find, and what you end up liking might very well be very different from what I end up liking. But a decent paper. The other thing I should mention is if you're walking down the aisles of Michael's, you're going to see a lot of different price points. You're going to see very expensive brands compared to very cheap brands. You're going to see middle of the road ones. Just because it's expensive doesn't mean that it's all that great, and just because it is that great, so to speak, does not mean that it is going to make you a fantastic artist. Okay, you're not going to become MC Escher just because you have, you know, the top of the line stuff. Don't be afraid to go cheaper in the beginning to kind of try different things out. Personally, I never spend a ton of money on my art supplies because the big expensive stuff is just that. It's very expensive and I don't like it as much as the cheaper stuff. It's all about preference. But don't be afraid, don't look at those big price tags and start panicking and, you know, pulling your hair out and whatnot. It's all good. Other things obviously you're going to need are pencils. Mechanical pencil, not so good for this. You want real pencils, alright? Yeah, I carry one, but it's for like writing down notes and whatever. Now I use a various bunch of pencils. I'm quite a fan of the Faber-Castells. This brand's been very good to me. I also really like the Fantasia Artist pencils. They come in this tin. And the reason I say pencils, not pencil, is because there are various grades of pencil. I hope this comes out on camera. As you can see, there are different numbers stamped on here. 2B, 3B, 4B, etc. There are a variety of density for your lead. Basically, hard versus soft. The softer your lead is, the darker it's going to be. Having different levels like that will help you get some really dark stuff and really push your darks compared to your lights and give you more dimension in your art. This tin has what? This tin has 6 different grades of lead, and of course it has a tin, which means it keeps them all nice and safe and easy to carry, which is always good, and pretty cheap actually. I also do have this other kit, which is just a bag, and of course now I've got a bunch of stuff in here, but the Faber-Castells that I use, same thing, I got a bunch of them in here. Always good to have a bunch of pencils. I always suggest you get like a 2B up to a 7B. They'll give you a fairly good range, and we'll get into that a little more in a later video about shading in particular. Other things you want are erasers. The eraser on the back of your mechanical pencil. Okay, my stuff is really dirty. It's also really old. Please bear with me. You're going to get stuff that's going to look new and shiny and everything. Here's what it is. You're going to want some erasers. The eraser on the end of your pencil, your number 2 pencil, like when you were in grade school, or on the end of your mechanical pencil, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a good eraser. And actually we're going to talk about 2 different types of erasers. The eraser on the end of your mechanical pencil, or your number 2 pencil, like when you were in school, it's not going to do the trick for this one. We're talking about good erasers, and we're talking about 2 types of erasers. One is your generic pink eraser. It's kind of a trapezoidal shape. Again, mine are old, they're dirty, they're well loved. These are really good for erasing things. They really take the lead right off the page. The other one that you're going to want is a kneaded eraser. And it's called a kneaded eraser because, as you see, I'm kneading it. It's kind of a soft clay-like material that you need to soften up. And you can also shape it to get in the little teeny tiny corners. I've even used stuff like this to erase lines to make hair. Like I said, this stuff that I'm using is not that expensive at Michael's. And of course, Michael's is where I'm going to suggest, because if you're living in Cape May County, that's kind of our only art store. You can obviously go on Amazon and order it off of Amazon, but I kind of like to see the stuff I'm buying first and kind of get a feel. So important things to get: pencils, paper, and erasers. Obviously, there's a bunch of other different mediums that you can draw with. And a medium is basically any type of art. Different mediums for drawing can include pencil, pen, ink, pastels, charcoal, but we're just going to stick with pencil for now. Want to start off simple, want to start off basic. So if you're interested in this and you get yourself some paper and you get yourself some pencils and kind of doodle around a little and get a feel for your new equipment, or if you already have it, great, you're already ahead of the game. You know, remember, don't be afraid to try different things, don't be afraid to kind of play around a little bit and just see where it takes you. Remember to have fun with your art. Art is about expression. Art is about freedom. It's all about having fun and relaxing. To me, it is one of the most rock and roll things you can do, just shy of grabbing your electric guitar and jamming out with Chuck Berry, which, let's face it, most of us aren't going to get a chance to do. Hopefully, I've given you guys some good tips, some good starting points, and we'll see where this all takes us, right? So for now, go, have fun, do some drawing, play around a little bit, don't be afraid to doodle, and just kind of get a feel for things. And of course, don't be afraid to come to the library, because we got a bunch of books up there in our reference department that cover artists, art history, how-to on drawing and painting and all sorts of things. Come, check it out. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.